In your privileged, westernized mind, you thought you knew better about the Middle East than the actual people that had dogs in the fight. You said every Jew who believes in the state of Israel was a terrorist, a genocidal freak. They were looking to ethnically cleanse whatever. While you stood in the street and screamed for a one-state solution. You supported Hamas, the organization that is raising them as sheep for slaughter. And now look what's happening. The one-state solution you screamed for is happening, but it's not the one you wanted. It's not the one we wanted. You annexed and exiled every Jew from public spaces, from the rooms where it happens, the decision-making rooms. You threw your support behind candidates like Jill Stein, who got a co-signing from David Duke himself. And now look what you've done. We didn't want this. You screamed in the streets for a ceasefire, but never called for the release of the hostages, which actually would have ended this war. You screamed for a one-state solution while we said we want two. So while you scream on the internet today that there's a one-state solution happening, you called for it. We called for peace. We wanted the return of the hostages and an end to the war. You called for a ceasefire you never believed in because you never called to release the hostages. And when you finally got a ceasefire, you went back into the streets and started screaming, bomb, bomb, Tel Aviv. We won't stop till Israel's gone. We don't want no two-state. You said all of these things. Who did you think? If there was only going to be one nation that came out on top, because that's what you wanted. You wanted a war that ended with just one. Who did you think was going to happen? Who did you think was going to get that? You know who knew what was happening more than anybody else, more than Israel, more than America? It was the IRGC, Hamas, and all of its other proxies. This was by design, and we told you Palestine is being used as sheep for slaughter, for sympathy, so that they have an excuse to destroy Israel in the name of Palestine. We told you. We warned you. So from your Western privileged place of safety and comfort, you were so desperate to be part of a movement that you went out and you screamed for this. You exiled Jews. You exiled anybody on the left who just believed Israel had the right to exist or defend itself. You removed anybody from the situation rooms where decisions are being made who actually wanted peace, because you labeled anybody who believed in Israel to be against the Palestinians, when that was never the case. That was never the case. And you got the left to be so far to the left that everybody voted for the right because they were scared of the left. And now you're confused. Now you're confused why the right is in the White House and why they're making these decisions. It's baffling to me how you don't see what you did. How do you not see it? In your weird westernized obsession with victimhood, oppressor-oppressed mentality, all of these things, all you did was stand in the streets for 16 months and encourage and incite violence, not just in our streets, but toward Gazans. You continued this war. Imagine if the public pressure for the last year and a half was, end the war, release the hostages. Imagine what you could have accomplished. But you never cared about Palestinians. You wanted a war. You wanted something violent to be attached to because it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel a type of way about yourself, that you get to march in the streets and go into college campuses and harass people. You feel like you're part of something. But what the fuck were you a part of? Look what you did to the people that you purport to care about. Look what you did. It's disgusting.